Welcome to the Heal and Restore podcast with your host, me, of course, Randy, and of course, the ever most beautiful Kathy sitting right next to me.
Oh, thank you, honey.
We're dedicated to helping individuals and couples strengthen their relationships through healing, growth, and honest conversation.
Yeah.
Right? We dive into topics like communication, forgiveness, intimacy, family, and emotional connection because healthy love starts with a healed heart.
I love that. Love that.
Tune in each week and take the next step toward restoring what matters most.
Yeah, no, I love that. We're all about heal and restore as we're restoring.
That's right. That's why we call it Heal and Restore.
That's right. So each week we talk about the real couples, real struggles that couples face, and how we grow through them and bring us hope, healing, and through our faith as well.
And we've been through a lot of these struggles, so we're not just talking, academically. We're talking real life.
This is why we do what we do.
Right. Yeah. We've those of you that know us know our story, and it has not always been a story.
So we're always working through issues, and we want to help others work through those issues as well. So that's good. Yeah. So what are we going to talk about today?
Today, we're gonna be talking about how hidden assumptions hurt marriage.
So it's those unspoken expectations that create the hidden assumptions that hurt the marriages.
And what does Jiminy Cricket say about assumptions?
Oh, yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, you know. So, every couple has them. We all have expectations. We have expectations about chores, finances, intimacy, parenting, holidays, you name it. And we've been through those things. And the problem is when those expectations go unspoken, they often turn into disappointment and resentment. And honestly, this is such a good reminder for me of the work that I've done to get through this, because I had a lot of unspoken expectation. I think we both did.
We both did.
Yeah. So this is going to be a great episode, I think.
Well, and then here on that little subject too, remember, expectations and needs are going to change throughout your lifetime and throughout your marriage, and that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you talk about it.
Right.
So today's, we already talked about today's topic.
Yeah, we did.
So, and here's the truth. Unmet expectations aren't always the problem.
No.
Think about that one. It's the unspoken ones that do the most damage.
Yeah.
So we have these expectations and we don't talk about them, we hold on to them, and we just assume. Not good.
No, that's not good. That's not good at all.
No. So what are some unspoken expectations, Mrs. Boyd?
That's good. So unspoken expectations are those assumptions. We keep talking about that. The assumptions we carry out in our minds about how our spouse should behave without ever saying it out loud.
Right.
And I have often caught myself, and still can today, catch myself speaking them out loud to myself, but that doesn't help anyone.
Well, what do? We go through life thinking that everybody has a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but sometimes I'm like under my breath speaking them, and then all I'm doing is getting more frustrated. So because I'm not speaking them where I need to speak them.
No, and we realize the crystal balls don't work and they're broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's when we see the cycle. Expectations equal disappointment equals resentment, and then the worst, then comes the disconnection.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Right? Unspoken expectations. Well, you disappoint me because you didn't do that. Well, I didn't know that was one of your expectations. And then we have these. The resentments kind of come. They're not.
They're after the after fact.
They're the after effect, and they're really subtle.
Yeah.
That's the problem with that.
Yeah. So if you've never agreed on any of these expectations, all you're going to do is set yourself up for frustration. So, and then it feels personal, and then you start pointing the finger at the other person when it should be pointing it back at you, asking yourself, "What didn't I do to create this?"
Resentment, right? Where does that all start, though? We got expectations, disappointments, and disconnection, but it's pride, right?
That's a whole another ball game there.
Yeah. I mean, pride. The way pride goes to jealousy, jealousy goes to anger, right, or fear, and then the anger, right?
No,
and then the resentment.
Yeah.
So
and once the resentment's there, disconnection is in order.
Right.
It just falls in order.
But just because we have a resentment doesn't mean we have to hold on to it. We can let it go. and we can have that conversation, and hopefully we get come to
A resolve.
a resolve,
Yeah.
a good, healthy, loving resolve.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So, common areas of hidden
Yeah.
assumptions.
Yeah, so these are some areas that are most common where unspoken expectations can show up in our marriages. So if you take some time and really tune into these, because I think all of these we can say we have experienced ourselves.
Yeah, number one, of course, is the household roles,
Yeah.
right? Now, before I go into a couple of them, we the men are the spiritual heads of the house.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that we are the rulers of the house.
Right.
That does not mean that Kathy has to do everything I say when I tell her that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So household roles. Who does the cooking?
Mm-hmm.
Kathy and I share it.
Yep.
She does most of the cooking. I do the smoking. Right. Smoking of meat.
I was going to say, wait a minute, what are you smoking
Smoking
there,
of
dude?
meat. Okay.
That sounded funny to me.
Cleaning. We both share cleaning.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is stuff we developed over years.
And we're both in a position where we have the opportunity to do these things.
Well, and there was a time when I had retired and you were working where I did a lot of these, and I didn't mind.
Yeah,
right?
no.
It was my job. Laundry. We both share the laundry. Things you often assume based on how you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, everything we do today, it's all learned behavior.
Well, and it's what we saw growing up. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later,
exactly.
too, is because our parents, or whoever it was that raised you, they kind of set a foundation of what expectations are supposed to look like in the home. So, but the number two thing that we struggle with a lot of times is finances. Who's going to pay the bills? How much money should we spend?
Right.
Are we savers? Are we spenders? And finances is really a hard conversation for a lot of people to have. So they kind of ignore it. We have ignored it in the past. Ignore it, and then eventually there's those assumptions, and then there's spending that shouldn't be done. Then there's also spending without consulting with your spouse or your partner, and then eventually resentments and disconnection comes up. So finances is something that has to be talked about.
You know, and people believe that, finances is one of the number one reasons for divorce.
Yeah, no.
Well, unfortunately, it's not.
No.
The number one reason for divorce is kind of what we're talking about today is communication.
Yeah, so all of these things need to be communicated. Yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So number three would be parenting, and that's a good one, right? We each bring assumptions, there's that word again, and about discipline, school, and how much time to spend with the kids.
And again, what we saw growing up.
Right. And so if the new way that Kathy and I look at it, and we see our kids doing this too, is that my family is my number one ministry over everything else. Right. Some people are chasing the corporate ladders and all that, but that's good. We want people to be able to be successful that way, but the best success in life comes from your family.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you a good father?
Creating that foundation.
Creating that foundation. Number one ministry is your wife and your children.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and then the fourth area is emotional and physical intimacy. How often? What does it look like? What can we expect from each other emotionally? And these are things that I don't think people talk about. Couples don't talk about very often.
But, there's a lot with the emotional sobriety. No, I'm sorry, sobriety. The emotional intimacy is actually the most important, right? Because without good emotional intimacy, the physical intimacy will not.
That's true.
Will not be there. But also, I heard today, and I don't have the scripture in my head, but physical intimacy is mandated in the Bible, right? It's my body's not mine, Kathy's not hers. We're to be together. The physical intimacy is supposed to happen as often as possible, except when we both agree on. But without emotional intimacy,
it's very difficult to have physical intimacy.
Very,
definitely.
very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
So, if those expectations aren't talked about, they become landmines in the relationship.
Boom! Explosions.
Just like that, right? So Kathy and I, one day we were talking and we came up with this. When I met Kathy, it's like, man, there she is, my dream girl.
Yeah.
Right? She's beautiful on the outside. She had this peace and serenity about her. Everything about her was like, dang, she's beautiful, right? And I liked being with her. She enjoyed the same things I did. We got along, right? We had a lot of the same interests.
Yeah, we did.
And so that was the thing that started us falling in love with each other, right? And then we decided to get married. Mm-hmm. And again, we went, we might have both seen a red flag here or there, but it's like, it's no big deal. I mean,
you work through these things.
You work through them. It's no big deal, right?
Don't talk about it. You just work through them.
Don't talk about it, right? But what's the one thing that we never did, and that we've talked to a lot of different couples, that really nobody does before they get married.
Right.
It's okay. Hey, let's get married. But before that, you and I need to sit down, and I want us both to talk about what our expectations are of this marriage.
Yeah.
What your expectations are of me as a husband. What my expectations are of you as a wife.
That's right. Yeah.
What our needs are for each other.
And what are our expectations as a couple together?
Yeah. What are they as a couple? Everything. What are they?
Yeah.
So you might find right there that there's some things that this just ain't going to work because we're so far out of alignment on a lot of this stuff, right? And the common thought is, well, I can change her or I can change him. Look, you need to go into marriage loving the woman that you married or the man that you married because of you guys match.
Who they are.
Now, we can have compromises on some of those expectations, which we should have.
We should have.
Right? And also with those needs. So just think about that. One of the things Kathy and I have decided to incorporate on our pre-marriage counseling is it's going to be mandatory that they sit down and they write out those expectations and their needs. And in fact, we're having a lot of our couples do that even now.
Yeah,
right?
Through their sessions.
Through their sessions. What are your expectations of this marriage? What are your expectations of your spouse? Because if you don't know what they are, you're making a lot of assumptions, which leads to the resentment and
the disconnection
and all that.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Yeah, but one of the things I love that we've done is the SYMBIS. Randy got SYMBIS certified. And what's SYMBIS? It's SYMBIS. Sorry, I'm jumping in on this because it's so exciting. SYMBIS stands for Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. And I'm going to stop with that just for a moment because if you are already married, SYMBIS is also for you. They ask you the date of marriage. If the date of marriage is not here, you get an assessment based upon an upcoming wedding. If your marriage date has already passed, you get a set of questions in the assessment based upon a current married situation. But it's a great place to understand each other. And this is where a lot of the expectations, where we talk about, what you saw growing up. And this is where a lot of those conversations come from. And so you can see what the expectations and needs might have been based upon what you grew up, but it gives you an opportunity to look at how do you want to do it as a couple moving forward. And so if you are interested in SYMBIS at Heal and Restore Counseling, we do offer just that service as well.
Right, exactly.
Just email us or check out our website at healandrestorecounseling.com, and there's more information on that, or you can contact us through there as well.
The one thing about the SYMBIS is it was developed by a Christian couple, over 21 years.
Yeah, right? It wasn't just kicked out overnight.
It's not a
personality test.
A psychological assessment. It's none of that.
No.
It's amazing what they did and how they arrive at the answers. We have no idea. And when we sat down with a couple, sometimes they'll go, I'm not sure about that, right? But come back. They've always come back and say, you know what? That was point on, right? And we have found it to be 99.99% accurate. And our couples have told us that. And that's not me and Kathy saying.
No, we've done several.
It is an amazing tool to do before you get married, or like Kathy said, even if you're married, we did it.
We did it at like 30-some years of marriage and still found it to be, we've been married 42 years, so we did it around the 30-year mark and still found it to be accurate.
You still married me?
Yeah, I did. I did. All right, moving right along here.
Speaking of 42 years. We accomplished that last Wednesday.
We did. We just had our 42nd year anniversary.
Yes.
So.
And we're both very happy and content.
Happy, healthy, and in love.
That's right. I
Mhm.
love that
Yeah.
Spiritual Dave says
Yeah,
that.
happy, healthy, and in love.
Right.
All right, moving on.
Okay, all right. So, how to recognize and talk about them,
Yeah.
about the expectations or
Yeah.
assumptions.
Yeah, so how do we start dealing with them? And how do we deal with those unspoken expectations in a healthy manner?
So, again, we have a couple simple steps, and they're simple for us to speak.
Yeah, got to apply them though.
Step one is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Ask yourself,
Mhm.
this is important, what assumption am I carrying,
Yeah, I like that.
and where did they come from?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that is a deep question. You have to be open-minded, and you have to do a lot of deep self-reflection on that, right? A lot of my assumptions came from my childhood,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they proved to be wrong and very damaging to our relationship.
Yeah, definitely. So I just want to add on that self-reflection. It is one of the most healthiest things you can do
Yes.
for yourself. And it's the one that gives you the most discovery of self. But you have, like Brenda says, you have to be open, you have to be willing, and you have to take some time. Set aside some time where you can sit down and journal these things out.
You know, and real quick on the self-reflection, generally here's what will happen. With you take that honest time to do some self-reflecting, and you're meditating, you're thinking about it, and these thoughts come to your head about, oh, no wonder I'm like that. No, that has nothing to do with it. That's not being open-minded. If a thought comes to your head
Jot it
out
down.
of nowhere, jot it down, and if you have to, do some more self-reflection on that particular
It may
point.
not come in that moment,
Right.
but it will come eventually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's
right.
really good.
100%.
So the second step in all of this is to communicate clearly. Here's that word, communicate. You know, don't assume that your spouse can read your mind.
You can't read my mind?
No, my crystal ball is broke.
I tried reading yours, it doesn't work.
Yeah, no. So what you want to do is you want to say it out loud. I feel disappointed
Yes.
when this happens because I was expecting XYZ. So say it out loud. I feel disappointed when this happens because I was expecting XYZ.
So what are you doing? You're taking 100% ownership for the situation.
Right, and I'm assuming that as well. So communicate it clearly so you can have open dialogue to kind of close the gap on that assumption.
I got a question for you. That's a great statement. Which is harder, that or saying I'm sorry? Ooh,
for me or for anybody?
No, for you.
For me, I think they're both difficult for me, but that is an area that I'm fully aware of, and that I think probably if I could say I feel disappointed when this happens, I was expecting, it's going to be a little easier for me to apologize. To be honest with you,
right?
And once we have this conversation, I think it opens the door for a potential apology as well.
Correct. And why do you have a hard time apologizing?
Well, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. So I think this leads to a potential apology when I can humble myself and speak my truth and have that open dialogue. It may soften the ability for me, only me, to be able to say I'm sorry.
So, you know, it's interesting. You don't want to be wrong. I don't want. Nobody wants to be wrong. But it doesn't mean you're right, wrong, or indifferent. No. Hey, whatever it is, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Learn from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I always got so locked in on being right that I don't look at it's okay to be wrong.
And I was the same way. The way I grew up, I could never. I mean.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this part, this third step is, I think, what gets us to that place.
That's right. And we say negotiate and agree.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay. Sometimes expectations, like we talked earlier on, needs adjusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you thought your spouse would do all the cooking, but their schedule doesn't allow for it.
Yeah.
Right? So talk through and find what works for both of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's key.
And that's going to ebb and flow. I mean, but having that dialogue and communicating clearly and being able to negotiate and agree is going to just make smooth waters for sure.
So on that cooking thing, okay, here's the deal. I mean, Kathy and I are fortunate. We both can cook well, right? And
I'm better than you.
We both can cook well.
I caught him in his tracks.
We both can cook
Stopped
well.
him.
All right. I will say this for my wife right now. I'll say it publicly. In 42 years, she has never cooked a bad meal.
Maybe one.
No, you never cooked a bad meal. We've always been able to eat it. It just hasn't been great, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, when it comes to cooking, let's just say that Maybe the wife isn't the best cook in the world, right? But she cooks. And,
Puts in
she's
the effort.
busy, she puts in the effort. But let's just say her husband has to work really late one night. And she cooked dinner for the family, and it's like, God, he's not here, right? So she puts some of the food away for him, right? In the refrigerator, get it all ready for him.
Makes him a plate, basically.
Makes him a plate. Maybe you have to put it in the microwave or whatever. But that husband comes home and doesn't appreciate what his wife did for him. She's likely never going to do it again. So it doesn't matter how small that effort is. You must affirm it.
Yeah.
And same thing
Encourage
with
it.
Same thing with a wife, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice when Kathy. I just don't feel like cooking, right? Or maybe we didn't get nothing out. Well, okay, what do you want to do? Well, there's nothing out. Okay, then let's go get something to eat.
Yeah.
Let's just go out to eat somewhere, right? And here's a tip, gentlemen.
You're going to make sure everybody hears this tip.
Again, I don't care how many times I have to say it because men can be pretty hard-headed, right? Where do you want to go, honey? I don't know. I don't really care. Hey, what's the name of that restaurant that you've always wanted to go to? That one that you really like, that you really wanted to go to? Oh, Cabrero's. That's it. That's where we're going to go.
He remembered hearing that because every now and then I have a craving for it.
So I'm telling you, it works.
All
It gets you out of trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
A little extra on that one. Okay?
All right, so we got to get back on track here.
I'm sorry.
So we're talking about how we recognize and talk about the expectations. The last thing I want to share is to give grace. And so even when you've shared, your spouse may forget or fall short. Mm-hmm. And that happens often. Yeah. Life is busy. Children come, schools, work, extracurricular activities. Choose understanding over offense. You don't have to like put your thumb to it. Just offer grace.
And on that subject, I'm going to talk about God. God has shown us grace, amazing grace for the things we've done in life, right? So if God has shown us that grace, amazing grace, and forgiveness, then why aren't we giving it to our spouse?
Yeah. Should be natural.
I mean, are we better than God?
Yeah.
Right? It's a gift, right? It's like, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Christ gave me a tremendous amount of grace. Yeah. Right? My wife displayed that to me after the affair. So I have to display it to her. I get to display it tomorrow. So have grace with your spouse.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay? Sorry, I mean, that's an important subject.
Yeah, that's good.
We have to. So.
That's good.
So now remember, expectations are not bad.
Right.
It's the silence around them that causes the pain.
Yeah.
Those assumptions are what causes the pain.
The silence, the not speaking, the assumptions, the things that we create in our head.
So let's go on and talk about faith and reflection.
I love this. Mm-hmm. So I hadn't ever heard this scripture, but in Amos 3:3, it says, "Do two walk together unless they've agreed to do so?" And I thought, wow.
That's pretty powerful.
So agreement takes conversation. It doesn't just happen. I'm going to repeat that. Amos 3:3 says, "Do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so?" It takes two to have this conversation. It doesn't just happen. And I love that.
Whether you're a Christian or not, this is a wake-up call. Mm-hmm. When you marry your bride or your groom, you're making a vow, mm-hmm. a covenant, not only with your bride, but you're making a covenant with God.
Right, that's true.
Now, look, I broke my covenant. I made a big mistake. My wife, on the other hand, mm-hmm. Her vow was her life. And that's what saved our marriage.
Sometimes to a fault.
Well, yeah, but
I fought through it. I had to fight through it.
She fought through it.
I chose to fight through it.
She analytically forgave me right off the bat because she didn't want to be stuck in prison. And she showed me grace that, in my eyes, I shouldn't have got. Yeah. Right? So we chose a life together. Yeah. And Kathy, at that point in time, she's had people tell her, "You're crazy. Why'd you get back with him?" Yeah. She chose to have grace because she heard God tell her, "You've been married to him for over half your life. Fight for him." Yeah.
Yeah,
And her
absolutely.
vows, those vows are a serious
Right.
covenant.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Anyways, I got to do a little bit of preaching here.
You get, your heart goes.
Yeah.
I know, I can hear it.
So, and that's the invitation. Don't just assume, agree together.
Yeah.
When you bring your expectations into the light, you build trust, intimacy, and unity. Remember, expectations are your expectations. It doesn't mean they got to be rock solid.
Right.
It means that this is what I expect. Maybe Kathy looks at me and says, "Man, that's pretty harsh." Man.
Well, not only are they your expectations, but the important part of all of this is to talk about
It's to talk about them, right?
Absolutely.
Because maybe it is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I never thought about
That's
it that
where-
way. Okay.
That's where the negotiation and
Right.
being aware.
Exactly.
So as we get ready to close this out, I have some questions for you, which I'm really loving how we've implemented this. And so these are some reflection questions for you as our listeners. So get your journal out, and here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself this week. They could be your journal prompts. They can be the things that will encourage you throughout the week. The first question is, what is one unspoken expectation that I've been holding on to in my marriage or in my relationship? So what is one unspoken expectation I've been holding on to in my marriage or my relationship?
Just one.
Just one. The second question is, where did that expectation come from? Did it come from my family? Was it my culture? Was it a past experience? So where did that expectation come from?
That is where self-reflection is so
All
critical.
of these are. All of these. And then the third question is, how can I share this expectation with my spouse or partner in a loving, honest way this week? So how can I share this expectation with my spouse in a loving, honest way this week?
Can I give him a hint?
Sure.
Hey, babe. I've been thinking about something. It's this expectation that I have had. It's an unspoken expectation. It's just how I feel. Can we sit down and talk about it?
Sure, we can.
I just want to share it with you.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to hear that.
You can agree with it,
Yeah.
or disagree. That's okay, and we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Simple.
I would love that. So, remember, friends, unspoken expectations don't have to damage your relationship. Oh, they do not have to damage your relationship. When you bring them into the open, they can actually strengthen your marriage. And I think we have learned, and I think that's one of the things that has created a stronger marriage in us, is that we talk about things more often. The things that we didn't talk about mid-marriage, we're talking about now.
And here's one little call to action, just a little one, right? This week, try having an expectations check-in with your spouse. Kind of what I just modeled to you, okay?
Yeah.
Share one assumption you've been carrying, and listen as they share theirs.
Yeah.
Again, you can agree to disagree, and you can have a very loving, open, honest conversation.
But have the conversation.
Yeah, don't ignore it.
Definitely.
Okay?
So if you'd like a tool to help you do that, you can email us at healingrestorecounseling@gmail.com for our expectations check-in worksheet. And on the subject line, just put expectations worksheet, and we'll email you your free copy, no cost to you. We're more than happy to share that with you to help get that dialogue started.
All right. So this episode encouraged you, subscribe. Please subscribe. Love a review.
We would love a review, yes.
You can love it too. Yeah, we'll love the review. But leave a review and share it with another couple who could use some hope and encouragement.
Yeah.
And we all know somebody like that.
Yeah, and the thing is I think a lot of times we go around thinking we're the only ones feeling this way, or we're the only ones that are struggling. No, we're all struggling with something. Everybody has an opportunity for growth. So don't hold on to the gift. Share it with others.
And that's been the beauty of our life group, right? Because every one of our couples that come there, think this is beautiful because we are among people that are struggling with the same things we are struggling with.
Yeah.
And we thought we were the only ones struggling with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
No.
So you're not.
No,
okay?
no. And what we're finding out through that, because they're sharing their struggles, not only amongst the group, they're able to be confident in their struggle, that they're sharing them like with coworkers and family and friends outside of the group as well. So share this episode with somebody, give them hope, encourage them. So thank you for joining us today. Remember, unspoken expectations create distance, but shared expectations create unity. So find that unity today.
That's good.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
really good. So Remember this. If nobody's told you they love you today, Randy does.
Kathy does.
But more importantly, God does. Be blessed, everybody. Have a fabulous week.
Have a great day.